that interview, because you know the internet is full of information, misinformation, all types of stuff. One thing people keep saying, whether it's you or Valentine or Billy Cole, whatever y'all talk about space, they always say space is fake. So, being an astrologer, what's your thoughts on this new thing on the internet that keeps laughing? That
What do you
space is
mean
fake?
space is fake, bro? Like, what? Hold on. Okay, so what do we exist in? Like, I don't care what you call it. Like, is the earth has to be somewhere, right? I'm going to call that space. Now, if you want to call it a closet, if you want to call it, I don't know, the underworld, like whatever you want to call it, well, like, what do you mean space is fake? Like, I need some understanding on that, bro, because I don't understand that. Like, that is so to me, it's like, what? Like, do you not see the sun and the moon? Like, where do it exist at? Like, at like this office, your rich room, like space is like, what do you mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand that, bro. Like, I'm sorry, I really don't understand. I don't even know how to answer that. Like, what do you mean it's fake? Like, is it real? Like, far as the space, but it don't hold no energy? Do you mean that? Like, I don't understand that. I need some
Are the
clarification.
planets solid or projections?
Ooh, can they be both? See, what I mean by that is, right? One of the best books to study, honestly, is the Kabbalion. And the reason I say that is because you have to understand this concept of polarity and duality. And so, what we can see as physicality, you didn't put Mars rovers on some place, and let's just say, for the sake of argument, it's true. Don't even deal with another, deal with your own planet. Your planet is Earth, and it's what we would call solid, right? You can dig in the ground and stuff, we can say it's solid. But is it an actual projection from the mind of all, as far as on a bigger scheme of things? And we say, oh, okay, it's a projection. Absolutely. So I'm going to say in the realm, guarantee is going to be an aspect of both, because everything manifests itself from the plane of what we call mentalism anyway,
Indeed.
period. And it starts with a projection and whatnot. So I'm not going to say projection far as, oh, it's fake, it's not real. Okay, go run outside in the middle of the street and let the truck hit you and tell me how fake it is. And then show me how fake it is, right? You're not going to do it. So sometimes I think we get metaphysically lost in some of this stuff, but when you properly understand it, you got to understand what the Kabbalion calls the paradox. All truths are but half truths. What do you mean? It's either one truth. No, it's not. All truths are but half truths. You see what I'm saying? And all paradoxes can be reconciled. Once we can really understand what that concept represent in the creation of things, life becomes really easy. You can start living by these principles.
Yes, sir. Well said, my brother. Well said. Solid and projection at the same time. Let's get to this next question. Anpu, do you know about the stargates under the Great Lakes?
No, I don't know about it. I don't know about it, but it's interesting with the Great Lakes though. So if you look at a map of the United States and you see how Lake Michigan flows down, and you understand the North Star and what looks like a dipper in a cup, then you can absolutely connect these seven stars in the dipper to seven cities in the north that the slaves would actually happen to be running free to. So it wouldn't surprise me that even what they say with Antarctica, the further you go up north anyway, these are absolutely, for lack of a better word, they're portals. But the earth got a lot of these places. Stone Mountain is one. You got the cave in Mammoth Cave in Kentucky. That's another one. Sedona, Arizona. You got a lot of what we call anomalies. Serpent Mound in Ohio. So it wouldn't surprise me. But specifically Stargates, I'm not familiar with it. But I do know if you take that Dipper constellation and you superimpose it on the United States, you will absolutely see some things for sure.
Indeed. Okay, let's get to this next question. Brother Panic, R.I.P. showed a
Rest in peace.
literary, yes, showed a literary reference showing our pineal gland literally looks like Saturn. Have you been able to connect the other planets to space within?
Man, that's a good question, man. So
Indeed.
and that's why I love to teach the science, is to teach it within self. So not necessarily a gland looking like a planet. That's a great study. I never thought about looking at that study. But in the old school science called arithromathematics, now it's known as medical astrology, these every planet governs a particular system. of your body anyway. So if you deal with Saturn, for example, Saturn is your bone systems, your calcium, and your skin system as well. So your skeletal system and what they call, what is it, the endocrine system, which is the skin system. So every planet is going to correspond to a bodily system anyway. So that does not surprise me, and that's very genius of the bro. So rest in peace to the God for sure, to even start equating the shapes of these things far as something inside of the body. But hands down, that is a great study to look into, because these systems, star systems, absolutely correspond to bodily systems, hands down. And this is why when you go shopping, next time you go shopping and you check out, grab the Farmer's Almanac that's right there at the checkout line, open it up, and you're gonna see what's called Zodiac Man. And Zodiac Man is gonna have his whole body open up, and it's gonna have Aries right here, it's gonna have Taurus right here, it's gonna have Gemini right here, and the whole signs is just gonna work itself all the way down to the body. So when you deal with physical body parts, you also have to deal with systems of the body. So they're absolutely connected, and that don't surprise me.
Indeed, indeed. All right, give me some more questions, y'all. I'm liking this Q&A segment right here a lot, y'all. Let me get to this one here on Fard Muhammad. QB says, you mentioned Allah, Master Fard Muhammad, who founded the Nation of Islam, said the scope of his teaching is astronomy. Any thoughts on that?
Man, listen, man. Master Fard Muhammad is one of the goats. Like, seriously. Nobody know how this dude died, Rich. Like, he disappeared, bro. Wow. And listen, this is what a lot of people don't know in the Nation of Islam. There's a figure by the name of, I'm getting goosebumps, bro. I swear to God, there's a figure by the name of Wali Fard. Look, Google this. Ong's, O-N-G, Ong's Hat, New Jersey. And you're going to find some metaphysical papers that talk about this mystical character who comes from the East selling Persian rugs, okay, named Wali Fard. And he was hanging out with Princeton dropouts, college dropouts, and they were building an egg-shaped ship to escape out of this universe. Damn. Now, all I'm going to say is this. That's on the record. Even that story, because in the Nation of Islam, we got that story of he was coming and he was selling, he was selling silks and whatnot, right? So that's in the legend. But they don't know that this dude pops up amongst what they call the white Moorish Orthodox Church, later started incorporating this information, okay, out of New Jersey and on the East Coast. But look into it, the Pine Barracks of Ong's Hat, New Jersey, this mystical figure named Wali Fard. But to answer your point, that's why I be getting on the fruit of Islam, but y'all don't even know what y'all got. Will you think he just telling you the sun is 93 million miles from the earth? For what? What are he telling you this distance for? I just showed you when you bounce thoughts off of them, things start to happen in this reality. And when you start thinking into space, all of a sudden new stars start to be born. Y'all saw that, right? And so that was the science that they was on. That's God science. So when you get on the level of God science, you are not allowed to talk about, you're not allowed to believe white supremacy is ruling when you're supposed to be the supreme God.
Woo!
You can't do that. Brother. You can't do that. And if you, again, I say it again, if you don't know how the brain works, you really ain't allowed to do that, because the brain got mirror neurons and would start producing mirroring effects of what you're talking about. And then by the law of quantum physics and observation, if you keep talking about that thing, you will create a new event to substantiate the thing that you believe in. You're creating white supremacy by thinking and talking about it and having the audience listen to it. Because as they're listening to it, their mind is conjuring up the picture if you're not showing them the picture. So that's dangerous. You can't do that. But Master Fard Muhammad was way on some other science. Don't even know how the man died. Come on, man. That's who was that? Was that Elijah in the Bible? You put him up in the whirlwind. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get that man like, what? You came and said the white man was the devil? And the legend is your daddy is black and he purposely went in a white woman on purpose so you can come into the world looking like a mulatto or looking like the white man, slide up under the radar doing racist America and say, black man, black woman, the white man is the devil. And then you disappear and nobody know how you died, and then pop up in another culture of esoteric studies, hanging out with some college dudes, right, and talking about you got an egg that you gonna travel about the universe. Come on, man, you the GOAT. You the GOAT. Fard Muhammad is the GOAT.
Hey, Anpu, do you think, depending on what era, what time period you living in, depends on what teachings are appropriate? So let's say So let's say you don't want to hear white supremacy talk.
Mhm.
Do you think that talk, which may not be appropriate now going into the golden age, but it was appropriate during the time of Mustafa Muhammad with the white man as devil? Because you may not want to hear white man as the devil in 2025, but
Right.
maybe it was appropriate for that
Oh, it
time being.
absolutely was appropriate. That's the thing. You got to take off your training wheels. Stop eating the baby food.
Mm,
So you think about it. Like, okay, you getting punched in the mouth. You ain't you a sucker at that particular point. Let's just be honest about it. You're a sucker. So now we got to give you some courage. Man, that dude the devil. Look at what he do. Whoopty whoopty whoop. Like even his biological makeup got like the dude the devil. All right. Yeah. He the devil. Whoa. Okay, let's start to give you some courage. All right, but listen, I got some supreme wisdom lessons though in here, and I got some actual facts that you're supposed to be remembering that deals with astronomy. What? Hold on. Recite it. I don't know it. What's the composition of the planet? How does that interplay with your psyche? I don't know. But you got to graduate to that point. So, absolutely, the teachings are relative towards the time. Hence, the
mm,
Quran says what? And we will send a messenger to every nation speaking its own language.
mm,
So, absolutely, it's relative in the time. You in the Aquarian age, this is the age of enlightenment.
mm,
That's what they say. I didn't make it up because I'm an Aquarius. I'm just saying what was being noted, what this energy brings. This is the age of freedom. What a coincidence. Abraham Lincoln was an Aquarius and you got free. Like, stop. Like, this is law. Bob Marley, Huey P. Newton, like these revolutionaries. Like, this is a frequency that comes through based upon the ages of the time as well. But
mm,
yes, sir, absolutely.
loving this. Let's get to the super chat question. Shout out to the super chat right here. Oneness, since the universe is mental, would you say that Star Magic is making radio heads for our money constellation, Mooney constellation?
Yeah, if I understand that correctly.
Yeah, I don't
You know
really
what I'm
understand
saying?
the question. I don't really
Yeah, if I
understand.
understand it correctly, the way I interpret that is star magic is simply you consciously creating, sending your mental thought as it pertains to your money. I'm thinking Mooney is money, right? In this concept. So yeah, you're giving birth to it. So I prove that far as that testimonial. So that's what you absolutely are doing it. You're drawing it down. This is why I love this symbol right here. Man, this is the coldest symbol that talks about this reality when you really understand it. As above, so below, but as within, so without. You know what I'm saying? So absolutely.
Hey, another quick question, Anpu. What do you think about that symbol that you're in? Some people rocking it in the middle. I see Kanye had it in the middle of the so-called swastika. What
Mhm.
you think about that geometry right there, that in the middle of the swastika?
Yeah, so you are see the goal is to harness four elements to
Mm-hmm.
master them, right? And that's all the wheel is talking about. The swastika, that's all it's talking about is the four elements. When you get into tarot imagery, one of my favorite cards is the magician because the magician says, listen, on my altar, you will see a sword, which is air. You swing it in air. You will see a wand, which is symbolic for fire. You see cups, which is symbolic for water, emotion, intuition. And you'll see a coin, which represents the earth element, which is the money. I've mastered all of these. So stop being necessarily swayed or imbalanced. The real magician understands all of this. This is why I had to go get into plants, bro. If I turn my camera around, I got this whole thing is plants. I had to learn the earth energy because naturally, as you can see, I probably talk too much and I'm energetic. So I'm fiery air by nature, but I had to learn the earth energy. And then that's why I also got into real estate so I can learn the earth energy to translate into money. Plus, I didn't want to play on y'all for money just to do classes to get money because I need money. I may not be in the mood to teach class, to be honest with you, right? So I didn't want to have to do that, right? So anyway, so absolutely, we're creating that reality to that question. And what I think about Kanye West, the as above, so below, you're mastering the four elements when you have that. So your goal is to bring it all in, to make it, to harmonize with it. That's it.
Indeed, indeed. Okay, let's keep this thing going, y'all. This is good right here, y'all. How does one heal from cancer using the celestial bodies?
Man, that's a good question, man. So the inner alchemy of that is, let's just say, for example, cancer is more of a wet earth type of energy in a sense, right? And so what you have to do is understand the science of polarity once again, right? So if something is like wet, soggy, you don't want to eat stuff or deal with stuff that's like weighing you down. So let's just say hypothetically, say you need to go to something that's more of a fiery, airy type of energy, right? To kind of flush out and make things circulate. Like cayenne pepper helps the circulation of the blood and whatnot, right? So what you can do is in medical astrology, you can look at certain planets, and then you can know what the opposite of the condition is, right? And then you have to harmonize with it. And what I mean by that is this, because I don't like doing these things blindly. I like to show you where it is, so you can, just like where you know where the sun is, and then you can zone in with that. Because see, these waves of energy is permeating and touching us anyway. It just shows up different. The obvious one is just sunlight, because it's just, it's the light giver. You know what I'm saying? So you can feel that. The moon gravitational pull, I always like to use women menstrual cycles as an example. That's a gravitational pull that it has on the lymphatic system of all human beings, because the moon is pulling on the water. The majority of the body is water. So then you got that. But the kicker is to know the planet. And then the time that you really want to go in is when it's called the sixth house. Now, the way you can map this out with the sun is at sunset. So when the sun goes down and it's dark for approximately on average for about 2 hours, the sun is now in the sixth house. The sixth house is the house of health. Okay. You can also do it when it's in the eighth house, because the eighth house deals with regeneration. Okay. So only thing you have to do is just know what is the element or planetary energy that you're trying to tap into. Do your thing, your medications, your prayer, the things that you do and whatnot. But then also use celestial body timing in the channeling of your energy to tap into it when it's exactly right there. That's how I like to play with it, bro.
Indeed, indeed. All right, let's see. Let's get to another. I'm not gonna ask
I
that
thought I
one.
was gonna have some smoke, but I guess we ain't got no smoke today. Rich, what's that? What was that?
Nah,
Hey, y'all don't mess with me, man. I'm just be saying, just grow some testicles if you're on that side of the ledger. You know what I'm saying? Come on, this black magic, baby. We supposed to be using black magic. You know what I'm saying?
indeed, no, indeed. Okay, so I think all right, let's ask this. Are we perceiving reality, i.e., Earth, planets, etc., from within us? And if so, is that not simulation type system we experience? And what does reality really look like?
Man, I think we are experiencing within and without. That's why I say with me, man, again, I'm gonna go back to this. You know what I'm saying? It's both. See,
Mm-hmm.
see, there is a physical sun. That's a fact. It's out there. It's not right here, but it is here. You know where it is here? It's called your heart.
Mm.
There's a
Talk.
there's a physical Mercury, but you know what Mercury it is? It's called the thinking apparatus in your brain. That's that. There's a Uranus. Uranus is your nervous system. Mars is your sexual organs, that system. So it is within and it is without. See, I think sometimes we be thinking that it's one or the other. That's why I say go to the Kabbalion, which is an Egyptian school. That ain't Greek. That's Egyptian. That's the Hermetic. That's the Kemetic laws of Tahuti, right? So when you start understanding that, then you will see that, oh, okay, it's absolutely both. So yeah, when you start dealing with the sunlight, you that regulates this gland called the hypothalamus, which is the chief chemical maker of the brain, which in returns regulates what's called our circadian rhythm. So now it's time to produce serotonin. Now it's time nighttime. Okay, let me produce melatonin. Right? You see what I'm saying? That's triggered off of sunlight. So we know that's a fact. Like we know that, and that's external, but that's internal. So this is what the Quran says. Do you not see the signs on the horizon and within yourselves until you may know that this is the truth? So it's there and here, and there's harmony with that. Now, again, you can also start to mentally go in and internalize on something. Oh, the heart is really the sun, because it is. It's Leo rules the heart. Okay. It's the life giver. What does the heart do? The heart generates a pulse. Where? On the right side of your heart, called the side node, SA, the side node. All right. At the top right part of the heart. That generates electricity. Boom, 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 boom. That's the life giver force right there. Just like the sun radiates light and gives us life. You see what I'm saying? So now there are some practices that we do, and I got a little secret group within the Patreon that we do. You know what I'm saying? Word is bond. You know what I'm saying? Well, there's something that we do with our heart, and there's something that we do with the sun. You see what I'm saying? And so, you know, but so yes, brother, I'm going to say we're doing both. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in. I'm talking to my people. They're like, why are you talking about the dragon? Right? The dragon in certain mythologies in schools is bad. In certain mythologies is good. So if I say a prayer that goes against the dragon, I'm not saying the dragon. I'm not saying that I know the dragon is good. When I go to China, my name is Chen Long. Wang Long means dragon. I know about Kundalini energy and sexual energy in the dragon. But if I come to the Catholic school of thought, then that's the dragon. But if you on that level and you feel like the dragon is the beast and you need this prayer of Saint Michael, like Trump started to recite soon as they tried to shoot him, right? Or did shoot my man in the ear, right? So he started reciting the prayer of Saint Michael before he started opening up. I said, oh boy, it's about to get interesting when this happens, right? Then if he on that level and that helps him remove the entity because that's his frame of reference within his reality, ain't nothing wrong with it. You see what I'm saying? So for me, I'm going to marry all these schools and show you the contradiction, and it's all, and here's the kicker. This is my key takeaway for y'all. It's all about your style. What do you prefer? Because Rich, they say manifest this way, manifest this way. You shouldn't have fear when you well, shit. If you have fear in the thing that you don't want is coming to you, then that means don't want equals manifestation. You see what I'm saying? And so you're going to find these contradictions, which means the only thing you have to do is find what's comfortable for you. And whatever allows you to get in your zone, zone out like you ain't never zoned out before.
Welcome to the night, keep the God fest. 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 Now eat the God fest. God fest. God fest. God fist. God fist. God fist. God fist. God fist. God fist.